WTO is associated with long talks, various tariffs, customs quotas, imports and exports, as well as with other terms which our consumers sometimes do not understand. The task of WTO market program is to break all the barriers between buyers and sellers, because we know everything about the prices.
What are the prospects of exchanges in Kazakhstan? When gas exchange trading will start in the EU? And what challenges do exchanges in Kazakhstan face? The Customs Union establishes a dairy exchange. A proper partnership agreement was signed between Russian milk processing plants and the Belarus Universal Commodity Exchange. The new exchange will be a platform for conducting agreements on raw dairy products and cheeses. Palladium was recognized as the best exchange commodity in 2017. Its price has almost reached the price of platinum. The cost of agricultural products has also risen this year. This concerns rough rice, lean pork, oats and wheat. Robots conquer the exchange trade. Investors have been using services of artificial intellect for a long time. About 45,000 workplaces have already disappeared as a result of robotization in the field of trading. The history of exchange trade in Kazakhstan begins in 1991 with the advent of market economy. Currently, from 16 commodity exchanges established in the years of independence, about 10 are still functioning. The development of the sector continues. A developed market is characterized by a high level of development of commodity exchanges. They were created to maintain functioning of the market in the form of perfect competition. In general, commodity exchanges and their meaning for the domestic economy in our country are underestimated. The principal function of commodity exchanges is price formation under free competition, as well as planning and provision with necessary goods. An exchange price is in fact a market price. In addition, exchange trade is a good opportunity for brokers and traders to earn money. Like any other subject of economic relations, commodity exchanges face such requirements and challenges as, firstly, imperfect legal regulation, secondly, lack of confidence of market actors to new market instruments, and thirdly, professional training of specialists in this area, or rather its absence. This refers only to commodity exchanges. Stock exchanges have nothing to do with this. For reference, the purpose of stock exchanges is trading in securities, and of commodity exchanges, commodity trade. Of course, in this case, we do not imply those commodities sold in shops or markets. We are talking about futures, contracts for delivery of exchange commodities.
Мы сталкиваемся с такими трудностями, что непонимание именно в государстве принципов.
The difficulties we face are based on lack of understanding in the country of the exchange trade. This is a comprehensive concept which includes such factors as open trade, anti-corruption component and indicator of pricing policy.
Антикоррупционная составляющая, индикатор ценовой политики.
Still, the state is interested in the development of commodity exchanges in Kazakhstan. First of all, the legislation is being developed for this purpose. Thus, the Exchange Trade Act has been passed. Later on, qualification requirements to performance of commodity exchanges, exchange brokers and dealers were adopted. Currently in Kazakhstan, there are 9 of them. The list of exchange commodities adopted in Kazakhstan includes potato, wheat, oats, soya beans, white sugar, cement, coal, brown coal and cotton fiber. In 2012, the Union of Commodity Exchanges of Kazakhstan was established. The organization studied the prospects for further development of the sector in the country. We hold various meetings, conferences and discussions. A working group has been established under the authorized body. We have made a lot of work jointly with Atamican National Chamber. However, the exchange community would like to participate more actively in discussions of development prospects at the national level. The legislation is still imperfective and needs further development.
Мы сталкиваемся с тем, что имеются электронные торговые площадки.
Sometimes we face the fact that some electronic trading platforms are identical to the trade exchange. The trade exchange is also an electronic trading platform. However, such exchanges are regulated by the Trade Exchange Act, the Model Regulations of Exchange Trade and the Subsoil Use Act. At the same time, trading platforms or Public bulletin boards, as common people used to say, are not regulated and enjoy liberty of action.
Доска объявлений, они ничем не регулируются, то есть у них полная свобода действий.
The exchange community is in the same way concerned by the code on subsoil and subsoil use, which excludes purchasing goods through commodity exchanges. Still, the exchange community and the state have one and the same goal – to make the Kazakhstan commodity exchange trade meet international standards.
Считаем, что вступление в WTO для...
We think that the accession to the WTO has played a very important role for Kazakhstan. This can be proved by our trading and the growing number of foreign suppliers who make the environment more competitive. In this case, not only prices, but first of all, quality become a priority.
конкурентную среду.
Nowadays, commodity exchanges of Kazakhstan are compared with exchanges of other post-Soviet countries. Experts believe that the level of exchanges in Kazakhstan is still lower than in other EU states. The number of brokers and traders is too small.
Находясь уже в рамках
As an independent state and EU member, we have no time to develop evolutionally. At the moment, we need a stronger regulation of these activities in order to become competitive in the whole world.
могли быть конкурентоспособными в целом в мире.
Some analysts are considering the possibility of consolidation of exchange platforms of EU countries with the purpose of establishing a uniform trade system. Latin American countries already had such an experience. There are more than 10 exchanges in Kazakhstan, one in Kyrgyzstan and one in Belarus. In Russia, there are only 2 successfully functioning exchanges, the National Commodity Exchange in Moscow and Commodity and Raw Materials Exchange in St. Petersburg.
С этого года товарная биржа.
From this year on, the Commodity Exchange of Kazakhstan is a full member of the International CIS Exchange Association. In the meantime, the Caspian Commodity Exchange is a strategic partner of the St. Petersburg Commodity and Raw Materials Exchange.
Русской товарно-сырьевой биржи.
Under the conditions of the contemporary market and in accordance with the WTO rules, industrial trading systems of EU countries will have to develop a new mechanism of economic integration. This includes the establishment of the Uniform Exchange Administration. All EU countries are interested in the establishment of a common exchange. The Eurasian Electronic Commodity Exchange of the Silk Road is to be established on the base of the Universal Commodity Exchange Eurasian Cooperation. The Eurasian Economic Commission also addresses the issue of the economic integration.
Также товарная биржа Каспий.
The Caspian Commodity Exchange is also a permanent member in commissions of the Eurasian Economic Commission, in particular in the area of development of the agricultural, oil and gas and energy trade sector.
Отрасли и торговли электроэнергией.
Currently, the uniform EU gas market is being developed. The Eurasian Economic Commission is already preparing the roadmap consisting of events aimed at launching of gas exchange transactions in the Eurasian Economic Union. In 2019, it is planned to adopt the gas regulations, which will allow EU members to carry out in gas exchange trading. How to become an exchange broker, what commodities are available in world exchanges, and why does Ukraine complain about Kazakhstan in the WTO? Becoming a broker, or in other words a mediator who trades at an exchange, in Kazakhstan is possible for physical and legal persons. A broker should obligatorily have a license to carry out exchange operations and be a direct exchange participant. A broker is not the owner of securities acquired for a customer and receives remuneration in the form of commission fees. After that, a person or a group of persons establish a broker office. It should have a legal form of a joint stock company. To do that, it is necessary to have a registered capital. For obtaining a license, an applicant should have a business plan for the nearest 3 financial years, as well as software and hardware facilities necessary for work. In total, there are about 70 exchange commodities. They account for 20% of the world trade. They can be conventionally divided into 2 groups. The first one consists of agricultural products, where the major part is represented by oil seeds. This group also includes cereals, livestock products, sugar, coffee, cocoa beans and sawn wood products. The second group consists of industrial commodities and their derivatives. It also includes energy commodities as well as precious and non-ferrous metals. The world commodities exchanges are NYMEX New York, which deals with buying and selling of oil, oil products and gas; CBOT Chicago, which focuses on sales of cereals; LME London, which specializes in selling of non-ferrous metals and plastics; and ICE Georgia Atlanta, which focuses on sales of oil, gas, fuel and electricity. Ukraine filed a complaint against Kazakhstan to the WTO. The grievance of Kyiv was caused by the anti-dumping policy of the EU and in particular of Kazakhstan towards import of Ukrainian steel pipes. Ukraine considers that Kazakhstan's decision to impose heavy duties on Ukrainian commodities does not answer the agreement on application of the article dated by 1994.